All right, guys, we've got a potential bad boy right here as far as performance is concerned. And these, my friends, are the Jordan Luka 2s. Yo, what's good, guys? My name's Chris. Welcome back to the official WearTesters.com YouTube channel. Today we're breaking down these bad boys right here, potential bad boys. This is the Jordan Luka 2s. They're quite a bit different, or like much of a departure when you compare them directly to the Luka 1s. Like that shoe I really liked. I love how they looked. I also loved how they felt, and I also loved how they played. So these guys right here, I'm expecting much of the same in certain areas, but there are also some things that are just drastically different as far as feel is concerned, despite the tech being overall the same thing. The first thing that I do want to talk about though is just the overall looks and just kind of what they remind me of. Like, I don't know if you guys have been longtime Jordan brand fans like myself, but when I see these, I see old school Jumpman era, like original Jumpman era style of design. So they don't look identical or anything like that. If anything, they really don't look like them at all, but they remind me of the Jordan Jumpman Pro 2s. It was not really like a popular shoe or anything like that, but I think it's mostly the color scheme and kind of the shape, because there was a white and kind of like bluish purple one, and then there was also a black and purple one, and that's what these kind of remind me of, minus the white midsole and stuff. But yeah, they overall are just drastically different, especially looks wise compared to the original. So I thought that was really interesting. The original shoe was kind of free flowing. It was very smooth on court, very low profile. The cushion was adequate in my opinion. Some people thought it was a little bit too minimal. This shoe though feels kind of similar as far as like the way that they're on foot, but they're a lot stiffer. And I don't mean from just a cushion standpoint. It's like kind of like that overall forefoot area is very stiff compared to the original, which is really interesting. I think that this will be a good shoe for a lot of players. I just don't know if it'll be great for every player. Now, one of the things that they did pretty much keep similar, at least the way that it looks, is the outsole. So we've got a lot of these just multi-directional lines everywhere. Feels awesome. It grips everywhere. Again, it's a little stiff as far as flexibility in the forefoot. They do have a couple of breaks in there to help with that. So these little black lines that you see are actually the foam midsole poking through. My only concern as far as durability with this shoe is actually right here at this like Ninja Turtle looking toe thing. The material, or the rubber right here, it's a clean break, and this is like a toe drag area for some people. So I'm hoping that it doesn't peel off over time and everything. However, I will say that Nike and Jordan do warranty their products. So if the shoes happen to separate or fail you or whatever it is, you can actually bring them back to a Nike factory store or just file a Nike claim at Nike.com, and then you can send these to Beaverton. They'll inspect them and then they'll give you a voucher for the full retail price. Now, the reason why we're able to review these actually is because of one of our Discord members. So big shout out and thank you to Notorious Victorious. I really appreciate it. Now, the cushion is fairly similar, if not identical, to the Luka 1. So inside of this overall foam package that we see here, the foam midsole is going to be Formula 23. Is it full length like it was in the original shoe? That I actually don't know. There's no real breakdowns or anything or exploded images of the shoe anywhere that I've seen. When I look at the bottom, I can't see all the way through it because the outsole actually glows in the dark, believe it or not. So this one I can't see all the tech like you could normally. And on top of that, instead of it just being kind of like a perimeter cage, like it feels like it's a full-on cup sole, even though it's a midsole. And then the Formula 23, I believe, is just inside of that. I do believe that it is full length. I just can't confirm that. The midsole itself is very interesting though, because it feels like injected Phylon. So it feels kind of like firm but bouncy. For all I know, it could be compression though, because it is kind of firm, but that could also be because of the dual density setup. Now, one of the things that I found very interesting was actually the insole. I don't think that this has been included in any of their performance shoes so far, so this might be their first, but this is a Dreamcell insole. It's not a cheap foam insole or anything like that, even though these aren't like the greatest insoles ever, but it's definitely better than like the Ortholite or that gray foam that they'll typically put in stuff like this Jordan brand shoe, right? This is a piece of shit. So this is way better than this. I can't lie! Now, as far as the Formula 23's feel, again, it feels very dense. It feels very firm, kind of like the original, but not really. Like the original one did feel a little plusher, in my opinion, when you put them on at first. It's just the more that you wore them, it kind of packed it down and everything. There's all those little air pockets inside of foam, and the more that you wear it, the more that those air pockets. So this one is definitely a little firmer. It does feel a little more plush in the heel versus the forefoot, but I also think that that's because this little piece right here and right here are TPU. I don't want to call them a spring plate necessarily because I can't see where they are, but it feels like it is. It feels like it goes V like this and connects. I just don't know that for sure. Again, I can't find any like images. It's so weird the way that this brand is like, wouldn't you want people to know what you did? Now the materials are very basic. They actually come with a sticker inside of one of the shoes that says that everything used on here is a synthetic leather. So if you happen to be a vegan and you play basketball and you don't want to play in an animal product shoe, then this could be a viable option for you. For everybody else, you guys kind of know the drill at this point. It's textile, synthetic overlays, very basic, very similar to damn near everything. It saves them a lot on budget and everything. As far as how it will work, it feels good. Like I was saying though, it's just a little stiff in the forefoot, and I believe it's from this little plate thing. So once you break that in, they should feel fine.
I know it's the colorway because I'm not able to remember the shoe model, but there was an Adidas model where they did all of their Marvel collaborations, and they had a Black Panther one, and that's what this shoe is reminding me of.
It was the Dame 5.
Okay.
I don't think that they look shape-wise the same, but the colors for sure.
Yeah, it's just very Black Panther-ish.
Yes. That's actually kind of cool that you mentioned that, just because there's some hidden details on this shoe that are very interesting. Can they see it on the camera? Like all the green? Reminds me of those New Balance, the brain thing, like that whole upper, like it looks almost just like it. But yeah, this whole upper has glow-in-the-dark stuff in it. And then the entire midsole glows in the dark too, and I thought that that was really cool, so it looks really dope. Now, as far as fit is concerned, they do fit true to size, so whatever you typically wear, that is what I would recommend. The laces are very long, so if you wanted to replace those, you can. They actually don't glow in the dark, but they are cool looking, so if you wanted to leave them, I wouldn't blame you. But yeah, just a heads up, the laces are super long. And again, just be aware that they're a little stiff in the forefoot, so you do have to break them in. I know that a lot of shoes nowadays are kind of like, there's not really a need for that stuff, but sometimes you do need that. I do wonder if maybe Luka was just like, hey, I need a little bit more support in my shoes, so maybe that's what ended up happening, is that they beefed them up a little bit, which is very interesting when you look at the Zion 3s, because the Zion 2s beefed up the support a lot, and then the Zion 3s look like a fucking Kobe, and I'm just like, this guy's gonna explode out of these. What are they doing? So like, it's just so weird, like the contrast between the two players and their footwear and stuff. So that's a shoe though that I'm very interested in, by the way. I just don't know if it's necessarily great for Zion himself, but for all we know, he's not gonna be playing anymore, so hey, maybe it's just for us. That guy cannot get on the basketball court. I'm not gonna call him a bust, just saying. But anyways, these feel like they're gonna be a good on-court shoe. Are they gonna be a great on-court shoe? I don't know, especially compared to something that looks like a great on-court shoe, like the 38s, man. I'm excited for those. I am telling you, they're beautiful too, man. That shoe looks so good. So yeah, I don't know if these are gonna beat something like that. All I know is that it feels like a solid option. So hopefully that they actually perform that way. Stay tuned for a performance review. One of our testers will be doing that in the next few weeks. I don't think Jackson's ready yet. He broke his foot and he's still not gonna be playing anytime soon. So hopefully we'll get these from Alan. Stay tuned. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for all the support. Let us know what you think about these down below in the comment section. Did you get early access? If you did, have you played in them? If you have, what do you think so far? Especially if you compare them to the first ones. Which one are you liking more? Sound off below, let us know. We greatly appreciate everybody for being here. Thank you so much. We'll catch you on the next one, and until then, have a good one.